Hawkeye Arena is sold out in like 42 minutes. The average ticket prices were reselling for $600. This is like crazy stuff, which makes me just so curious about what Nike is doing. Like, do they have some like secret plan to like not promote her until her shoe launch? Because
Nike recently fired Caitlin Clark. Wilson gets the red carpet and personalized shoes, but he doesn't have a signature sneaker, buzz, or even a good t-shirt. The fans are hot. Her circle is furious. Nike is acting in a way that seems more political than commercial. Worst of all, this could be the start of something even more chaotic.
Now, you would think with this being such a big game for Caitlin, her returning to her alumni in Iowa, and her hitting that massive Logo 3, the Logo 3 during the game, that some of her sponsors would want to show her support on social media, do any sort of marketing to uplift her and uplift their brand. And one who did do that was Gatorade. They tweeted a photo of her and they said, "Real home court advantage. Welcome back to Iowa, Caitlin Clark." Now, one of her lead sponsors that was noticeably quiet yesterday was Nike. And a lot of people were tweeting about this. They were wondering, why isn't Nike and Nike basketball, why are none of their accounts saying anything about this? Yes, it's a preseason game, but this is a huge day for Caitlin. She's returning to her alum. Who knows when she will play there again? And she hit a 36-foot three-pointer from her logo, the record-breaking logo where she beat the NCAA scoring record. Nike seems to be continuing to fumble the bag when it comes to Caitlin. She still doesn't have a signature shoe. The merch is very limited that they put out for Caitlin Clark, and a lot of fans are wondering why. People want to buy Caitlin Clark things, and they especially want to buy Caitlin Clark Nike things. Why is Nike continuing to wait so long into her WNBA career when you could have put something out last year and it would have sold out? It doesn't make much sense. And also the deal that Nike put on the table for Caitlin Clark, it seems like she is severely underpaid in this deal for the type of motion that she is bringing to the WNBA, the type of fan bases that she has continually.
You signed the most explosive, well-known athlete in women's basketball history, but instead of going all out, you put the car on cruise control and completely veer off course.
I get that A'ja Wilson's shoe did just drop and they did sell out. And I'm happy for A'ja. Like I'm not gonna, say my opinions about her as a person, but I don't want to diminish the release at all. But what I am just kind of curious about is why is Nike so subdued on posting anything or promoting much around like these big moments around Caitlin Clark? Because like that logo bomb, that 36-footer, like that is not something that most men can do in the NBA on a consistent basis. She just decided, hey, I'm just gonna go take.
To be clear, this has nothing to do with A'ja Wilson purchasing a sneaker. She deserved it. Her shoes are fantastic. She's a baller. However, Caitlin Clark, who literally reignited national interest in the WNBA, receives a depressing little text-only t-shirt and radio silence while Nike is out there throwing confetti and creating sneaker launches with Wilson's name branded across billboards. Fans and others took note. Sponsors took notice. Connor McCaffrey, Clark's own boyfriend, took note. He essentially dragged Nike into the spotlight when he posted a comment on Twitter. It gained popularity before being removed, but not before the harm was done. Similar to an intern.
The intern-looking designed Nike Rookie of the Year shirt last season was almost like insulting. And the fact that Connor McCaffrey, her boyfriend, reposted a post from Twitter asking like, hey Nike, do you have internet or what? That just shows like what his mindset is. And I am not going to assume that Caitlin is of the same mindset because they are totally different people, but that the people that are around her that love her, they're kind of wondering the same thing. And there are rumors that the Nike contract is getting renegotiated because it's an 8-year deal for $28 million, the steal of the century for Nike, considering the most.
There are now allegations circulating that Clark's camp is enraged rather than just irritated. In all honesty, who is to blame?
Caitlin Clark's Nike deal might be the worst endorsement deal in the history of professional sports. You guys remember this billboard that was put up in Iowa? Well, that's one of the last times that Nike has done anything for Caitlin Clark. They promoted her more in college than they have at all the entirety of the WNBA season. She signed an 8-year, $28 million deal with Nike that also included her own signature shoe, which honestly, looking at it now, $28 million for 8 years is an absolute steal for this superstar. when a player like Wemby's Nike deal was rumored to be over $100 million. Caitlin has not only had an incredible rookie season, but she has also transformed the WNBA. She became the face of the league as a rookie. She was #1 in jersey sales, and all of her collaborations with Wilson sold out in minutes. So why is Nike sleeping on Caitlin?
This woman agrees to an 8-year contract with Nike. That is an eternity in basketball. Additionally, the return has been, to put it mildly, disappointing thus far. During her historic homecoming game in Iowa, which, let's not forget, sold out in minutes, there was not a single rollout, hype campaign, primetime commercial, significant branding push, or even a passable promo. Instead, Nike is boosting rookies who haven't even set foot on a WNBA court by tweeting about random games. But nothing, Caitlin. Zilch is a ghost in their advertising. Let's go back a little. Nike made sure that everyone, including their grandmothers, was aware of the release of Wilson's signature sneakers. Everything about it felt like a Super Bowl commercial. Press releases, sponsored posts, and eye-catching promotional advertising. They even turned it into a statement and an occasion. Take a look at what we're doing for women's basketball. Again, congratulations to AA. Her flowers were well-deserved. However, it is not the problem. Nike's one-woman-at-a-time strategy is the problem. Additionally, Clark is currently on the bench.
4 million people that tuned in to the Indiana Fever preseason, before the season even started, to play against an international team. I mean, the WNBA hadn't even cracked like 1 million viewers for like over 15 years until Caitlin Clark came to the league. I mean, this preseason game had more viewers than the last game of the finals of the last, WNBA finals last season. Like, it's kind of a little crazy, like the emotion that this girl has. And I think we can pretty much expect that over 1 million viewers will be every single one of her games, like at least like baseline for the rest of the season.
Even her Rookie of the Year t-shirt, which was a sloppy slap-together design that appeared to have been taken from a discount bin, was made by Nike. "We didn't think she'd win" was virtually screamed from the weak font, generic wording, and lack of a photo or image. Wilson, on the other hand, received real celebration, real design, real marketing, and real appreciation when she was named MVP. The frustration arises from that. This is not a single campaign. It has to do with a pattern. A pattern that implies Nike is more concerned with managing egos than creating empires. Let's discuss Paige Bueckers as well. Even before joining the league, Paige has already received more Nike airtime than Clark. Her anticipated draft selection was the focus of an entire campaign. Hype videos from the red carpet, a sponsored story. In contrast, a mid-tier influencer receives more promotion than Caitlin Clark, who is actively participating. It doesn't take a marketing guru to realize that Nike is purposefully applying the brakes to Clark, so fans are piecing it together. They are aware of their possessions. They are keeping her in the corner, at least for the time being, even though they are aware of her strength. Why? There are a few theories in circulation. First, before beginning Clark's era, they wish to complete the A.A. Wilson storyline. Let A.A. shine without taking the stage, 2, in order to prevent internal strife, they are taking their time acting out Clark's role even though they are aware that she has been locked in for 8 years. 3, they fear criticism from WNBA circles. Let's discuss that final one: if Clark grows too large too quickly. As soon as Clark joined the league, we all witnessed the criticism she received from some WNBA players, the media, and seasoned voices. She disregarded the pay your dues guide. The ring was not kissed by her. She didn't wait for her turn. And now it appears that Nike is attempting to keep the peace by downplaying the appearance of their own athlete in order to please that mob. It's not marketing. That is a sign of cowardice. And Caitlin's team is aware of this, as you expect to be treated like a celebrity when you sign an 8-year contract with a company that features LeBron, Serena, Jordan, and Kobe. Not an insurance policy, not a placeholder, not a bench warmer. Clark currently resembles Nike's safety net rather than their focal point. And fans have had enough of acting as though they are unaware. People are publicly mocking Nike for blowing the largest marketing chance since Michael Jordan. Devoted Clark supporters are tweeting, "I should have signed with Adidas." Furthermore, it goes beyond simple trolling. It is quite disappointing. Nike remained silent during Clark's homecoming to Iowa, one of the major WNBA preseason events. No official merchandise, no hype reel, no live tweets, and no love after the game. She didn't seem to play at all. Compare that to the actions of other brands. For instance, Wilson is discontinuing collaborations. Young stars are being recruited by Puma. In women's basketball, New Balance is also gaining progress. Nike's greatest bet, meanwhile, is occupied with watching her highlight reels on her own sponsor stream go unnoticed. Do you really believe Caitlyn is unaware? Despite her intense concentration on the ball, her team, family, and agent are furious as they watch events unfold in real time. The problem is that they are correct. Nike didn't simply miss a chance. They are actively defending the value of their own brand. Instead of viewing their most valuable asset as an investment, they are viewing it as a danger. Even fans who have never given a damn about brand politics are wondering what the hell is going on because it's so horrible. Caitlyn is stuck, which is the worst part. On paper, this long-term agreement should be the best, but in reality, it seems more like a hostage scenario. Nike is leaving millions on the table by neglecting the athlete everyone is talking about, even while they are over here selling 3,000 pairs of AJ Wilson shoes and calling it a sellout success. It's not just poor publicity. Strategic malpractice is what it is. This isn't merely a case of bad timing, so let's be even more precise. There is a trend here. Nike's full launch around Caitlyn Clark has been so clumsy and incompetent that it seems almost deliberate. They either don't want her to shine just yet, or they don't know what they have. And people are beginning to accept that second possibility. Now let's discuss the optics. Paige Bueckers was treated like royalty. Before she ever set foot on a WNBA court, she received an entire advertising campaign. Early on, Sabrina also obtained her own shoe deal. Even A.A. Wilson, quite rightly, recently received a full-fledged commercial release complete with luxury sneaker design, top-notch marketing creatives, and all the bells and whistles. Nike granted her a moment, but after fans complained, Clark was muted when she returned to Iowa, disregarded during live tweeting of her own games, and edited into a commercial. This cannot be made up. Nike seems to be acting as though she doesn't exist until it's convenient for them to remember that she does, which is absurd given that she is the most significant female basketball player in decades. You know what's particularly filthy? Nike is aware that she is the future. They didn't believe in her, which is why they didn't offer her an 8-year contract. They took action because they did. And that's what has fans perverted. They think Nike locked her up early to sideline her rather than elevate her in order to prevent other companies from snatching her up and doing as they pleased. Give that some thought. They shelved her rather than just signing her. Tell me what kind of brand strategy that is. You don't sign Beyoncé and tell her to wait till Adele's tour is over. You don't give the largest name in the sport the keys to your marketing kingdom and then say, nope, we'll go back next year. Additionally, the fans don't believe it. They make a lot of noise. They're furious. Everyone is beginning to feel pressure from them. On Clark's inner circle, on Nike, and even on his agency. People are looking for answers. What is actually happening? Why is Clark being ignored? Why is her own brand ignoring the biggest attraction in women's basketball? It's internal politics, according to some. Some claim it's a fear of other Nike players reacting negatively. It's even referred to as strategic prioritizing by others. After AA's rollout is complete, we'll change course. However, stars don't operate like that. For someone like Clark, remaining silent is a tactic rather than a sign of surrender. She is allowing supporters to speak, allowing the clamor to grow, and allowing Nike to experience the criticism without doing anything. But let's face it, if this silence persists, it won't last forever because Clark will eventually speak out about it. At this point, Nike has more to lose than just a marketing opportunity, so they better be prepared when that occurs. They are jeopardizing their reputation. And it's difficult to repurchase once that's gone. Nike just had one employee, Caitlyn Clark. Rather, the biggest star in the sport was benched. The fans are furious. Other businesses are flocking like sharks, and critics are labeling it sabotage. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're as amazed as the rest of us. This story is just getting hotter.